What's up, good people? You are in tune to 10 to 20 with your boy, Jew Joyner. Today, we have a special gentleman on the line. He's a pastor. He's a bishop. Well, I like to call him bishop. He is an apostle. He is a renowned singer. Y'all, I'm talking about my frat brother, the Reverend Dr. E. Dewey Smith. What's going on, dog team?
What's going on, my friend, my frat, the apostle of ministry and media and radio? What's going on with you, man?
Everything's lovely, man. I'm so excited to be connected with you and so excited to be on this journey with you in this musical sense. God has opened up some doors for me, and anything that I can do to be of assistance and blessing to the furthering of ministry, that is what I am here for. And your brand new single is a gift to us. So tell us about the inspiration of Your Presence is a Gift.
Well, thank you for all you're doing, man. Dan Hampton Roads, man. I have so much respect for you, for what you're doing and who you are. And thanks for this opportunity. You know, like you, I'm PK. And so I've been doing music all my life, you know, started playing. My dad put a guitar in my hand at 4, started playing piano at 5, you know, picked up the bass, which was my primary instrument. So choir director, singing, all that kind of stuff. Love music.
Wow.
But when I started pastoring at 17, started preaching at 17, started pastoring at age 19, most of my mentors at the time in Georgia, they were like, man, you got to make a choice. You'll never be respected as a preacher if you still directing choirs and trying to play the guitar. So you got to make a choice. So even though I love music, and it was actually probably my first love, because I was told I couldn't do it and be respected as a preacher and a pastor. And that was such a burden for me. And I'm surprised that so many other artists who sing, they had the same struggle and still have the same struggle. So I kind of put my music down and put my media down. I was singing in church and do something every now and then, but I just felt uncomfortable because I was told I'd never be respected as a preacher, as a legitimate preacher, not a singing preacher, but a preacher. And a few years ago, I was having a conversation with Bishop Jakes. He was like, man, listen, God gave you all your gifts, use all of them. And so I decided, you know what, man, God gave me the gift. I love it. And I'm not going to let anybody else's labels define me. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to do that. So that was the inspiration for doing my music. Now the song, 5 years ago, a lot of people don't know this, but I had some traumatic stuff happen to me. 1 week, my godmother died. Next week, my mama died. 3 days later, my best friend from college died. 3 weeks after my mom died, my sister died. So I had to do 4 eulogies in 28 days, pick out 4 caskets. 5 days after my sister was buried, my brother had a stroke. And man, Jew, it broke me like I have never been broken in my entire life. So here I am preaching about who God is, but in my own life, I'm struggling. I'm really, really struggling. And I didn't handle it well, man. I was in a very, very deep, dark place emotionally. I went and got, the therapist to talk through it. All my preacher friends say, just preach through it. Preaching is cathartic, but I couldn't preach myself out of it. I really couldn't. And one day in prayer, after about a year, because I just didn't handle it well at all. The Lord came to me in the spirit, said, man, you are fixating over your mom's and your loved one's absence, and you're not appreciating my presence. And so stop fixating on what you lost and start appreciating who's been here. And hence, that song, man, means the world to me because, even in this time of loss, almost 600,000 Americans have died over the past year. So many people focus on what we lost, jobs, relationships. So that song says, if you lose everything else, don't just fixate don't fixate on who's absent, but appreciate who's present. And so for me, I'm grateful now that his presence is a gift.
Wow. Dr. Smith, I was one of the ones that was texting you because I just noticed what all that you were going through, but actually come to the realization that You lost so much in a short time span, and you were still able to not only proclaim the good news, but also having to deal with that mentally, carrying that out of the pulpit. This song, was it a struggle in any instance in delivering it based off of what you had gone through?
I think when all the writers and I, came up, when we finalized the song, and when I was went in the studio to record it, I think it was easy for me to record this. I think because of the time that had elapsed.
Okay.
It had been maybe 4.5 years. I recorded this in fall of last year. So I think because of the time that had elapsed and because I had internalized the message, I was able to deliver it. I think if it had been any time before that, I probably could not have. So because I sat with it, it's almost like when you know how it is, when you write a sermon and you sat with it a while, you live with it. Sometimes you preach the first time and you preach that sermon the second time. It's like Thanksgiving food. Sometimes it's better the second time. So for me, I think because I had sat with that song and those lyrics for almost 4 years, I internalized it. So it was more. It wasn't necessarily for me then. It was just my story. So and I presented it from a place of ministry. So I'm thankful because now I can sing that song without losing it, which probably 2-3 years ago, if I had to sing it 2-3 years ago, I probably could not have, but I can now.
Wow. That's a powerful testimony and powerful story. Your Presence is a Gift is the single. Tell us about the brand new project.
My first time ever, recording a solo project. And I actually started my own label, Pebble Street Records. Okay. And so this is the first album that's going to be released through that. And I also signed my first artist too. His single is dropping the 1st of May. And then our choir record is going to drop in the fall. So I got 3 projects this year coming out on my label, Pebble Street Records.
Oh my gosh. I am looking forward to receiving all that you have. I'm so godly proud of our connection and so godly proud of what God is now doing in your life. Did you ever feel as though that preaching was it, or did you kind of feel as though you were lean towards your music ministry once again?
Ministry has always been, preaching has always been it. And I was talking to Bishop Jakes, must have been 2013. We were talking, and he's very introspective. It was probably one of the most profound conversations I've ever had. And we were talking, and he was just asking me about all my, because I had recorded a song for somebody else, did a feature on somebody else's rap record for me, and I let him hear it. We were talking, and and he was just like, man, listen. One of the mistakes we make in ministry sometimes or in life is we mistake what we do for who we are. He says, what were you placed on earth to do? And I said, well, I'm here to preach I'm a preacher, preach the gospel. He said, yes. Is that it? That's all. That only thing is that, do you think that's the only thing God placed you on earth to do? And I had never been asked that question before. And then I thought about it, and we just went through. I mean, it was a long conversation, and I came up with the realization that I'm on earth to be a messenger of hope. My whole life, I've been a hopeful guy. I've been the hope dealer guy. And he was like, "You are on earth to make a message of hope. Preaching is just one of the ways, or one of the gifts that God gave you to carry that purpose." And if you don't utilize that, so media is one, music is one, writing is one, inspire. So don't label or limit yourself just to preaching, because you're more than that. God gave you more gifts. And if you don't use all those gifts, God's going to hold you accountable. So I had never heard of it that clearly like that. And that was just a little over 7 years ago. September 2013, we had that conversation. And I've been chewing on that. So, preaching is what I'm called to do. It's one of the things that I know I'm placed on earth to do. It's been the thing that I love. I'm going to do it till I die. Prayerfully, as long as God keeps me alive, I'm not gonna pastor all my life, but I want to use all my gifts that God gave me, and I don't ever want to stop preaching. Even when I retire from pastor, I still want to preach for people. Whether it's once a month or whatever. But I want to also use these other gifts I have, and I think now with my record label, I can help other people, give other people an opportunity, invest in them, help them to deliver their music. So I have an opportunity to still be involved in ministry, in music. Whether it be gospel, inspirational, jazz, I want to have an opportunity to produce music because I love music as well. So, and I also do media. I have a film company as well, and I've loved that since I was 8 years old. So I just want to use. I want to use every gift God gave me. I also have a basketball league at my church. I love sports. I was an athlete in high school, so about 40 weeks out of the year, we have an AAU league, a year-round league at my church. About 300 or 400 kids every week on the weekends, and that I oversee, that I started back in 2012. So I want to use every gift God gave me, and your passion sometimes is an indication of your purpose. Sometimes, so I'm just excited.
Wow, that is so fascinating and inspirational as well, because everyone feels as though that that they have found their gift, and but we serve a God that gives gifts. He gives us. He just continues to give to us. And that word you just said, really, that conversation that you had with Bishop Jakes really enlightened my mentality as well. And knowing that God has greater for me and others, all who are listening to this moment right now, because we serve a God who just wants to provide and wants to give and wants to bless us. And we have to acknowledge that. So I thank you for acknowledging and adhering to what Bishop Jakes said. And I've just thoroughly enjoyed myself talking to you on today, Dr. Smith. And I appreciate you, your testimony, your insight, your inspiration, and your loving kindness that you share with us. And you are welcome on 10 to 20 anytime.
Appreciate you, man. Take care now.
You as
All
well.
Right.
We've been talking to Dr. E. Dewey Smith on 10 to 20 with your boy, Jules Joyner. Peace.